So today I'm going to address a question that we get asked fairly frequently, which is, why doesn't my website rank? Why am I not visible for my search keywords? And usually there's a bit of a backstory to it as well. I got an email, I was promised SEO for $250. They did the work, and 3 months later I still don't rank. Was I ripped off? Well, the short answer was probably no. Whoever did it did what they promised to do. They optimized a few pages, maybe wrote some meta descriptions, threw in some alt text, and that was it. They did what they said they'd do. But there was something missing, and that something was the most basic level of competitive research. So we're talking about an example, and this is actually a real example. Accounting firms in Toronto. Company came to us with that exact story, and they just weren't even in the first 4 pages. So they were a little upset. They thought they'd been ripped off. But the reality is that they weren't. And here's why. This is a quick overview. It's a tool we use which evaluates the strength of a domain and the page. So we can see here that what we've got is a website with not great domain authority. It's 5 out of 100. The other thing is that in terms of actual IPs linking to them, they've got 1. And they have page authority of 14 out of 100. So not an incredibly strong website. And now here's where you'll see where the research comes in. This is an illustration of that same search result that we looked at earlier. Accounting firms in Toronto, but this breaks it down by those metrics that we looked at earlier, the domain authority, the page authority, and the inbound links. So just as a quick reminder, domain authority of 5, page authority of 14, that is the domain authority of all the ranking websites. I've put in that website there. I've just blotted out the name. But you'll see here, everything else that's ranking, you're talking domain authorities, 62, 35, lowest being 14, but they have 5. Page authority, we have a similar situation, and links, they're not doing a lot better. So this is an example of doing basic research. The problem here was that they never stood a chance of ranking. Certainly not for a head keyword like that. So whoever optimized their website did what they promised they would do, but they did it with no ability to actually follow through. There was no way that that website was ever going to rank. And sometimes you have to accept the fact that your website does not deserve to rank the way it is now. There's a lot more to it, and we'll cover that in the next episode.